I like a student to have a curious mind.
Do they have tenacity? Do they have grit? Do they have interest? Do they have curiosity?
The undergraduate students in my research lab don't have to enter the lab with very many skills at all. I am looking for a student who's highly motivated.
Other features fundamental to success in research has to do with students being patient, being organized, being humble, to be able to learn from mistakes.
So if you come to me and you express interest in my research topic, and you can commit several hours a week, and you're very excited about working in a research lab, and there is space in my lab, I'm usually happy to take a student. But it does take a lot of time and effort for the student, so I need to know that they can be committed.
I've had a number of students simply literally either dial me up or email me to say, hey, I'm interested in what you do. Is there any opportunity, or are there any opportunities in your lab for me?
So I'm very impressed when students come to meet with me and they've either read some of my research articles, read some of the abstracts, and know a little bit about the lab.
Feel free to come to my office. Even if you don't have an appointment, just come to my office, knock on the door. If I'm available, I'll be more than happy to talk to the student.
They need to find out exactly why they couldn't be taken on. That is, was it because that there was no room?
I don't know if you can capture this, but it's not a particularly big lab, and I do have many interests, but obviously there are limitations in terms of resource and time, so I can't do everything, and that means necessarily that I can't have every student that's interested come into the lab.
Was it because they lacked a particular skill set? Was it because other logistical matters like their schedule wasn't going to work with my schedule, those kinds of things?
I will refer the student to other professors in the department or in the college. I will also refer the student to the website where there is a link for students where they can find opportunities to do research.
If it doesn't work out for one quarter, I encourage them to keep in contact, come to my office hours, or send me an email the following quarter to see if a space is opened up. One of the big turnoffs to a way that a student would approach me to work in the lab is if they're too informal. I would expect an email to have my specific name, that they know a little bit about my research, so it's not a mass email that they send out to everybody in the department.
Not being responsible, for example, would be a turnoff. Not being timely would be a turnoff. Promising something and not delivering would be a turnoff. So those are the kinds of things. I haven't run into that very often, frankly. I find that most students who have gotten the gumption to come up and speak to someone about doing research have already that skill set necessary for them to succeed.
I would like students always to focus on the big picture of research. Consider research as a journey and not a destination. It's not a destination, it's a never-ending journey. A process in which we continue making discoveries and getting new challenges and new questions.
It's important for students to have a goal in mind, and I think be very upfront with what their expectations are in the research area. That is, are they looking for a letter of recommendation ultimately? Are they looking for experience to put on a CV so that they can apply to medical school? Are they looking for an avenue to see if what we do here in the lab is of interest to them as a career, to be a professional scientist? So I think seeing that on paper or in an email or being able to express that in person, I think that does wonders for a student to get their foot into the door of any lab.
There's a difference between learning physics and learning to be a physicist. You learn physics in the classroom and you do have to do well in there, but learning to be a physicist happens in the laboratory or in the research, and I think that's true for all the natural sciences. Learning to be a chemist is different than learning chemistry. Learning to be a biologist is different than learning biology. And the way you learn to be a physicist is to do research. So if your career goals is to be a physicist, then part of your job training needs to be not only being successful in the classroom, but learning how to be a successful physicist, which means getting involved in research.
I would recommend for students looking for a research lab to think about what skills they would like to learn and what topic is it interesting to them. We have so many great researchers at DePaul University that you can help out with a variety of cutting-edge research studies.